Full name, date of birth, please.
Desmond James Harmon.
Okay, you are here on three separate matters. You were charged with possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, and on November 2nd of 2023, you were to appear at a status conference. You didn't show up. They issued a warrant for your arrest in this case with a $50 cash-only bond. Next court date will be December 10th at 8:30, Superior Court, downtown Phoenix. Then you have another case that's pending, possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of narcotic drugs. On that same date, time, and place, you were to appear for a status conference in that case also. And when you didn't show up on this case, it was a $500 bond, so your next court date will be the same date, December 10th at 8:30 with a $500 bond. Now, you have a case pending. It is a direct complaint. County Attorney's Office, by direct complaint, has charged you with possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony. This is alleged to have occurred on October 19th of last year. You'd been previously released on one of these felony cases that I just described that you didn't show up for on February 22nd, earlier that year. Under Arizona law, if you are arrested, charged with a felony, and released, which you were on the date that this third case is alleged to have been committed, October 19th of 2023, you're not entitled to have a bond set on the new case if you're arrested on a new felony. This felony is alleged to have occurred on October 19th, 2023. You were released on these other two felonies on February 22nd of 2023. So it's just unusual because it came by direct complaint, not an arrest. So anyway, you'll be held without bond on this that particular case. Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you. Next court date, October 6th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix on that matter. And your orders are right over there.
On when, I'm sorry, October 6th?
Everything I told you is printed on the form. The only reason that this is a no bond case is because of what I told you. It turns out that it was the case that is filed by direct complaint actually occurred after you were released on the cases that you didn't show up for. But they didn't catch that when they filed the one under direct complaint, and that's not unusual.
I just wasn't aware that I even had those just because I've been living on the street, so...
Well,
I don't
know what else to tell you. I can show you, if you go back and look at the docket for this case, every single one of them, except the new charge, will show that you were taken into custody, conditions of release were established, and you were released on two of these, apparently, to appear on November 2nd of last year, and when you didn't show up, they issued warrants for your arrest, and then later, on the case that was a direct complaint, that was alleged to have occurred on October 19th of last year, after you'd been released on these other ones. And that, under Arizona law, the way they handle people being arrested, released, they just, hey, if you're arrested for a felony, released, and then while you're on release, you're arrested for committing a new felony, no bond. You're held without bond. And it solves the problem. All right, your orders are right over there. Paul Villalobos, and then it will be Sarah Geneve. Full name, date of birth, please.
Villalobos.
All right, you, sir, are on felony probation here in Maricopa County on two separate felony convictions. A warrant for your arrest was issued for violating conditions of probation on November 26th. In each case, one case had a $50 bond. Well, both cases had $50 bonds. Your next court date in those matters will be, let me get down to the right case, will be December 6th at 8:30 in Superior Court downtown Phoenix. Then, the reason we're lucky enough to have your presence here today is you were arrested earlier today and charged with possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, manufacture of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you. A $250 bond is set in this case, December 6th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix will be your next court date on the one you got arrested on today. Every date, everything you hear me say about dates, times, places, conditions of release, bond amounts, they're all printed on the form we hand you when you go back into that room. Okay? There you go.
All right, excuse me.
Sarah Geneve, and then it will be Derek Kohler.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Marie Genevieve.
All right, Ms. Geneve.
Yes, sir.
You are on felony probation #1 in Pinal County Superior Court. On April 20th of this year, they issued a warrant for your arrest. It's a no-bond warrant. Let me get...
I'm on probation in Maricopa and Pinal. They told me to pick one, right?
Pinal County. Case number 2020 01593. And it is a no-bond warrant. It was issued on April 2nd of this year. That you can be held without bond for violating conditions of probation. And the Pinal County Sheriff's Office will pick you up to make your first court appearance on December 4th at 8:30. Then you are on felony probation here in Maricopa County Superior Court. Warrant for your arrest was issued on March 14th. In each case for violating conditions of probation. A $1,000 bond was set in one of the arrest warrants, $500 in the other. In those two cases, your next court date will be your revocation arraignment hearing December 6th at 8:30. And if there are conflicts in dates because of, actually they're 2 days apart on these. Anybody who's here on multiple charges or multiple court appearances that they have to make, you won't be penalized as long as the system has notice of the warrant that they can accommodate and juggle them and everything and make sure you don't have any arrest warrants when these matters are resolved, all right?
Okay,
So everything I told you is on that, on the piece of paper we're going to give you.
Okay.
There you go.
Thanks.
Derek Kohler, and then it will be Bo Waller.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Full name, date of birth, please.
Derek Eugene Kohler, 4.
All right. You, sir, are here because you're on felony probation in Maricopa County. On June 9th of 2023, a warrant was issued for your arrest for violating conditions of probation with a $750 bond. December 6th at 8:30, downtown Phoenix will be your revocation arraignment hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bo Waller, and then it will be Vernon Yazzie. Full name, date of birth, please.
Bo Waller.
All right, Mr. Waller, let me get your cases together here. Here we go. You have a direct complaint filed by the Maricopa County Attorney's Office charging you with possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. This is alleged to have occurred way back on April 19th of 2022. This warrant was issued on July 18th of this year, with a $750. You also are on felony probation, and when they were notified of this, they issued a warrant for your arrest. Now, because this is the first time that you've been in trouble for a long time, and it was over 2 years ago, before they filed this case, the new case, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance on the new case and on the probation violation matter. Your next court date on the drug charge, pretrial services says you're not indigent, and you can hire your own attorney financially if that's not correct. If that's not correct for anybody that is entitled, you feel, to an appointment of counsel, and you can request at any subsequent court proceeding to have an attorney appointed to represent you. I'm releasing you on your new arrest to December 16th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix will be your next court date. And on the probation violation, next court date will be December 6th at 8:30 in Superior Court downtown Phoenix. And I appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you in that case. So you've got this December 6th and
16th.
December 16th. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
You bet. Vernon Yazzie, and then it'll be Gary Pinnick. Full name, date of birth, please.
Vernon Yazzie.
All right, Mr. Yazzie, you were arrested earlier today, charged with burglary, a Class 4 felony, and attempting to bribe a public servant, a Class 4 felony. Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you. A $2,500 bond is set. Your next court date will be December 6th at 8:30 Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. If and when you are released, you're not to go back to this location where the burglaries are alleged to have occurred. Then you happen to be on felony probation when this occurred earlier today, and your probation officer has requested that a hold be placed on you because what you're charged with doing is a Term 1 violation. A $500 bond is set on the probation violation matter. Next court date in that matter will be December 6th at 8:30 Superior Court downtown Phoenix, and your orders are right over there. Gary Pinnick, and then it'll be Crystal Heiser.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Full name, date of birth, please.
Gary Lewis Pennick Jr.
All right, you, sir, were arrested earlier today, charged with 2 counts of threatening and intimidating concerning and damaging property, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of violating an order of protection. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. This is kind of an aggravated case. You told both twice when they were taking you to book you that when you get out, you're going to kill the victim. That was 2 times.
I had
yeah, I know. Well, I tell you, 9 times out of 10, that's just blowing hot air. But so if I released you and you went and killed this victim, then I'd look like an idiot, would I? And it's easy for me not to look like an idiot if I set a bond that will prevent you from getting out and killing anybody for a while. I set a $7,500 bond on the felony charge. If you are released, you'll be subject to supervised release and be electronically monitored. You'll wear an ankle bracelet. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have contact with any of the victims or witnesses, and the order of protection that has already been issued, you've been served with it, you must comply with its terms. As I said, your next court date will be December 6th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Right, the order's right over there. Crystal Heiser, and then it'll be Lindsay Enos. Full name, date of birth, please.
Crystal Heiser,
Ma'am, you had a Rule 11 hearing scheduled on July 18th. When you didn't show up, they issued a warrant for your arrest, a no bond warrant. The public defender's office will still represent you, but your next court date, you'll remain in custody at least until your next court date, which will be December 5th at 9 a.m. And your order's right over there.
Okay, thank you.
Lindsay Enos, and then it'll be Brian Wyatt. Full name, date of birth, ma'am.
Lindsay Enos, 12.
All right, ma'am, you are on felony probation here in Maricopa County, and they contend you violated conditions of probation. And on August 12th, a warrant for your arrest was issued with a $500 bond. Your next court date in that matter will be a revocation arraignment hearing, Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, December 6th at 8:30. And the reason you're here now is because you were arrested earlier today, charged with possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you. A secured appearance bond is set in the amount of $250. I see that you have holds from, let me see, well, it's only here in Maricopa County. All right. Your next court date in this matter, the new drug charge will be December 6th at 8:30 in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, which is the same time for your revocation arraignment hearing. There you go. Brian Wyatt, and then it'll be William Johnson. Full name, date of birth.
Brian Scott Wyatt, Jr.
Right, Mr. Wyatt, you were previously charged with possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. You were to be sentenced on September 20th on those charges. When you didn't show up, they issued a warrant for your arrest with a $2,500 bond. Your next court date now will be in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, December 6th at 8:30, and your order's right over there. William Johnson, and then it'll be Paris Nash. Hello, full name, date of birth, please.
William Johnson.
All right, you were arrested yesterday, charged with possession of narcotic drugs. That's Class 4 felony. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You were also on felony probation when this is alleged to have occurred, and because it's a Term 1 violation, your probation officers requested that a hold be placed on you on the felony probation matters. So what I'm going to do is I set a $250 bond in each and every, all three of these cases, the new one and the two probation violation matters. Your next court date will be on the new arrest, December 6th at 8:30, Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, and then on the probation violation matters, December 6th also, okay? All three cases have a $250 bond. If you bond out, make sure you show up.
Okay.
All right, Paris Nash, and then it will be Jessica Rodriguez. Full name, date of birth, please.
All right, Paris Nash,
All right, Mr. Nash, you have pending a DUI, felony DUI case in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix. A status conference was scheduled on August 30th of last year, 2023. When you didn't show up, they issued a warrant for your arrest with and I don't know why they did this, a $50 cash-only bond. You post that, you get out, your next court date will be December 6th at 8:30. If you bond out, make sure you show up on that date, all right?
I got a debit card I can pay with my debit card.
You what?
I have a debit card I can pay with my debit card.
Yeah, I guess it probably, you can ask the officers. I'm pretty sure they accept debit cards. There you go. Make sure you show up. Jessica Rodriguez, and then it will be Joanne Sloan. Full name, date of birth, ma'am.
Jessica Jordan Rodriguez.
All right. You are on felony probation here in Maricopa County. They contend you violated conditions of probation on October 3rd. A warrant in each case was issued for your arrest with a $250 bond. Next court date now in each of those cases, December 6th at 8:30, Superior Court, downtown Phoenix. Right? And your order's right over there. Joanne Sloan, and then it'll be Jason Celaya. Full name, date of birth, please.
Joanne Sloan.
All right, ma'am, you were arrested earlier today, charged with criminal damage, a misdemeanor, possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony, and giving false information to law enforcement, I guess.
False information? I didn't give false information.
It says making, completing false public something. I don't know what it is. But if you gave the law enforcement office, the officer information that was incorrect knowingly, that is a Class 4 felony.
I didn't give no false information.
All right, well, anyway, I point public defender's office, I'm pointing you on your own recognizance to appear in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, December 16th at 8:30, okay? There you go, your order's right over there. Where am I? Okay. Jason Celaya, then it'll be Desiree Morales. Full name, date of birth, Mr. Celaya.
Jason Trevor Celaya, 60.
All right, Mr. Celaya, you are here because, when was it? They don't have the date here, but it was either today or yesterday. You were arrested and charged with possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of a weapon in the commission of a drug offense, Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, and carrying a deadly weapon and failing to admit it to law enforcement. That's a misdemeanor. I appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're being released on your own recognizance to appear in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, December 16th at 8:30, and your order's right over there.
Thank you.
Okay. Desiree Morales, and then it'll be Michael Wesley. Full name, date of birth, ma'am. Full name, date of birth?
Desiree Morales.
Right, ma'am, you were charged in Country Meadows Justice Court with driving on a suspended or revoked license. This is alleged to have occurred in April. The court date you were to make was May 3rd. When you didn't show up, they issued a warrant for your arrest. What happened?
Honestly, I was dealing with a lot of different other, tickets that I had to, so I kind of forgot about that one.
It's with all those balls in the air, it's kind of hard to keep track of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, your first arrest in this case, so I'm going to release you on your own recognizance to appear on December 19th at 8:30, Country Meadows Justice Court. Now, make sure you show up because the warrant that was issued in this case was $545. You don't show up and you're gonna have an arrest warrant for you.
Country Meadows, which court is that? Is that?
The address and everything will be.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
can't give you the address
Okay.
off the top.
I
of
just
my head.
didn't know where the court was.
Well, it's, everything you need to know is on there.
Okay,
All right? There you go.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Michael Wesley, and then it'll be, Manuel, oops, we got some Spanish speakers, all right. Full name, date of birth, please, and your full name.
Michael Todd Wesley Jr.
All right, you, sir, were charged in Moon Valley Justice Court with driving on a suspended license. You were supposed to show up on July 9th. When you didn't, they issued a $500 arrest warrant for you. This is your first arrest warrant on this driving on a misdemeanor. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance to appear December 20th at 10 a.m., Moon Valley Justice Court.
Yes, sir. Thank
All right, you bet.